Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in again. Over the years, I've worked with a whole bunch of creative people, like artists, musicians, and other creators, so I thought a video about creativity would be the perfect subject. Especially here on YouTube, I get in touch with a lot of creative content creators, and I've noticed that many of us share the same characteristics. So in this video, I've boiled it down to the 5 most significant signs I see when it comes to creativity. So if you think you've got a creative side and have trouble being understood, this video might help you out. You quite often hear that creative people are good at thinking outside the box, and as you probably know, this is a metaphor for thinking differently, but that's not what they do. Instead of thinking outside the box, I noticed that they've got a unique ability to think on the edge of the box. Everyone knows what thinking outside the box means, but the problem is that it's become an uninspiring and unproductive cliche used in management, and it hardly triggers any creative or original ideas. If you want to be understood, you cannot move too far away from the original idea, and that's exactly why creative people think on the edge of the box. Let's say a box is a metaphor for your idea, then out of the box suggests you're trying to discover something totally new, and that's a problem if you want your project to relate to the original idea. The trick here is to get off center and go to the edge. A good way to practice this technique is to take an object most people can relate to and add a little twist. That way you're thinking on the edge of the box. The second sign I see when it comes to creativity has to do with work-life balance. Maybe you heard about work-life balance before, but as a creative soul you find this concept hard to believe because you tend to focus 99% on life. Being creative often means going with the flow, and just for the record, going with the flow isn't about being passive or lazy, but about collaboration with what's showing up for you right here and now. A lot of people systematically try to organize and categorize different aspects of life so they don't spiral out of control, but the dangers of organizing life this way is that they often forget about the bigger picture. Creative people seem to have an eye for the bigger picture that's hard for others to see, and no, this is not about daydreaming. Of course, all of us need a certain degree of daily discipline, but it's also essential to make the most of every day, and that's how many of them think. It is all a matter of finding purpose and meaning in what you do on a daily basis, and if you feel this urge, it's a sign of creativity. Yes, some people might see you as a daydreamer, and that's fine, but if they tell you you're on another planet, just say, "No, I'm just being creative." So I will get to the third sign in a second, but before I forget, this dickhead from YouTube called me up again, and apparently my videos still miss that like factor you hear so much about, so could you help me out and hit this button? This would be a huge help for my channel and very much appreciated. Thanks guys. Anyways, the third thing I've noticed about creative people is that they don't care about money. Don't take this the wrong way, because what I mean is that they don't seem to be motivated by money as a reward but see it as a resource. Many of them don't really care about making money so they can afford designer clothes, fancy cars, or other expensive habits. As a matter of fact, they almost see money as an insult due to the fact that success often is measured by it. And yes, of course, money is necessary for survival and basic needs, but they don't allow it to become everything. Money is just an object that can buy you time to work with your passion and nothing more. The fourth sign I see might sound a bit weird, but have you ever felt like you know what you want but you don't know how to get it? Yes, it sounds strange, I know, but a lot of creative people feel this way. They are completely sure they're going the right direction and are constantly filled with energy and positive vibes when they're working, but they just don't know 100% what the end goal is. Perhaps you always knew you wanted to make art, ever since you made your first drawings in school, or maybe you're certain you want to write but you don't know exactly what it is you want to express. This characteristic is common and one of the hardest things about being creative because there is a lot of uncertainty connected with this, especially when people start questioning you. So if you have this experience, my best advice would be to try to rest with the feeling that you know deep inside that you're on the right path and stick to your dreams. So let's move on to the fifth and final thing I've noticed, and the thing I appreciate the most. Most of the creative people I've worked with are extremely humble and empathic, and this shines through in everything they do. They don't focus on achievements or constantly want to prove themselves to others by finding opportunities to be in the spotlight. Instead, they want to go in depth with their work behind the scenes, away from the spotlight, to try and improve every day, and this seems very important to them. They also love and celebrate the happiness of others and never forget about the people around them because they know success very often is a collaborative effort. Of course, they appreciate that their work gets recognition, but it's just as important to reach out as much as possible and be supportive of other people's dreams and help each other to achieve them. So this is all from my head, but tell me what you think. Do you consider yourself creative, or do you spend a lot of time with artists or creators, and do you see the same characteristics? Then tell me in the comments below. Thanks a million for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, feel free to do that, and don't forget to hit this icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Peace.